Hello, and welcome to another training video for Enlite POS powered by Dark. Today we're going to be looking at the Invoice Manager. If you joined us from the previous invoice change video, we kind of left it right at the moment when the Invoice Manager came up. Today we're going to discuss what that screen does and how to use it effectively in your business. So in the previous video, what we were doing was adding an item to an order that had already been detailed. So we're going to go back to that spot. We're going to go into Invoice Change. We're going to do our PIN, and I'm going to look for that invoice. So our ticket 832, this is the one that we were working on, and in the previous video what I had done was just added an additional blouse. So for whatever reason we needed to add another item to this order, and just to make things a little bit more complicated, we're going to also say that we found a tear in these pants and we need to repair them. So we're going to repair these pants as well. Yes, they're also going to be dry cleaned, and we're gonna hem these pants. Okay, so now we've added a tailoring item, and then we've also added a dry clean blouse. Again, if you happen to land on this video and haven't seen all our other videos on this invoicing screen, please go back and review all of those, because we discussed how all the controls on this screen work, and it's very important that you have watched those videos so that you can understand what's happening now. So we've added the two items that we're going to need to this order, and now we're going to hit our trusty print button over here, and the Invoice Manager appears. So this screen is so that you can segment your tickets into individual invoices or orders. So the customer is always going to know this as order 832. Internally, however, you can assign different due dates and different items to individual invoices. So right now we have everything on two invoices, I believe. Yeah, we have one invoice for our dry cleaning and one invoice for our laundry item. So with this little drop down, you can navigate between the two invoices. So this one would be 832, because that's our ticket number, -1. And this one would be 832, our ticket number, -2. So the screen is organized in two panels. On our left side, we have all of our unassigned items. So these are the two new items that we added, the blouse and the pants hem, the tailoring job that we're going to do. And over here on the right, as we had seen, we can navigate between the two invoices. These are the items that are assigned. So in -1, I have all my dry cleaning items, and -2, we have our laundry item. So the goal of this screen is to organize my items into invoices. Let's say that this blouse I can have ready by the 12th, which is the due date for this invoice. This -1 is due on the 12th. So I'm just going to assign it right into that one. So now my blouse is in order -1, 832-1. But we had added this tailoring job, and now we know that the tailoring and the cleaning won't all happen for the same date. So I can pull my dry clean pants with the tailoring job. I can pull these out of order -1. And let's see, I've got order -2 here, also due for the 12th. This is a laundry order. I don't want to mix these items together with that, so let's not use that one. So if I wanted to create a new invoice, so an 832-3, I just press this add invoice button, and then I can assign the tailoring job to that one, and let's say this is going to be ready on the 17th. So now this will be the due date for 832-3. And then let's say that I also want to add another invoice. So this is 832-4, and I want to throw in my dry cleaning job here. And then let's say that's going to be due on the same day, the 17th. Okay, so now I've added all of these items and assigned them individually to invoices. So the unassigned garments are clear. And now let's say I change my mind. You know what? I think I'd rather have these pants, these dry clean pants, on the same invoice as the tailoring, because I know I can do both for the 17. I'd rather that they move together. So I can't leave an empty invoice. So if I click on this, the system won't let me send this item back and just leave this -4 invoice empty. So in order to send this back to unassigned garments, because this is the only item on this list, I have to delete the invoice. So I can delete this invoice. And you see, now we don't have a -4. And I can go over to -3, and I can assign these pants into the same invoice as a tailoring job. But note that while we have unassigned garments, I can't save. I can't move past this because the system isn't going to let me leave items unassigned, because then they'd be left out of our workflow. So I'm going to assign this back into -3, and now you saw the save button is enabled. So now I can complete this. Again, I can change the due date if I think that I need to change my due date. Let's add one more day, and I can also change the time that it's due. So let's say I want this at 5 p.m. So I can change the time. And then once I've got all of this, I can hit save and all of my documents will print normally, or I can do more options and select which documents that I'm going to print, the same way that we had done when we did more options down here in our invoicing video. I can select which documents I need. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit save, and the changes are committed to the system. So now that the changes have been committed, I do want to show you what we've done. We're going to head to a section that we're not going to discuss in detail right now, but I just want to show you how we've organized our invoices. So we're going to go into customer walk-in. We're going to search for our customer. And we're going to go into the pick and pay section. So in this section, we can see the individual invoices that we created. So here's our -1, which had our dry cleaning items. So if we expand it, we can see all of our dry cleaning items. We left that one due on the 12th. Our -2 had our laundry item, and we also left that one due for the 12th. And then the -3, which was a new one we created, which has the tailoring and the dry clean pants, we moved that one to the 18th. So we can see here that it's showing to be due on the 18th. So that's how the Invoice Manager works. We took the items that were originally in 832-1, we added some new items, and we split them across the different invoices, the -1, -2, -3, and we assigned due dates individually to those orders, because we knew that the tailoring and the cleaning was going to take a little bit longer than the rest of the order. There's a video that covers the pick and pay section in more detail. I just wanted to show you how these items would be laid out once we had made the changes and split them up. And before I let you go here, we have one more thing that I want to show you. And that's that you have access to the Invoice Manager anytime you need it. You don't just have to be going through Invoice Change. So we're going to create a new invoice, and I'm going to show you how to access the Invoice Manager. So I'm going to go back in through customer walk-in, enter my PIN. I'm going to pull up a customer and go to new invoice. So now we're not going in through invoice change. We're actually coming in through creating a brand new invoice. So I can add my items like this, like normal. And let's add something weird. We'll add these shoes. So now I've got a regular dry cleaning order, but I've also got some shoe work that I need to do. And I know the shoe work is going to take me longer than the dry cleaning order. So if I needed to split this off at the moment of creation instead of coming in through invoice detail, I can always hit more options and then print manual. And that brings us right back to the Invoice Manager screen. So I can work this the same way I had done before. I've got my unassigned garments here on the left. I've got my empty invoice here on the right. I've only got the -1 because the system by default is creating only the first one for us. I can't save because everything is unassigned. So I can take all my dry cleaning items and I can move them over. And then I'm going to add a separate invoice, and let's say my shoe repair takes me a long time, so I'm going to set a separate due date for that one. And now that I've got everything assigned, I have my save button so that I can move forward. So I've got my two items split out the same way we had done before. We did it with a few more items and invoices last time, but this is what I wanted to show you. You can access the Invoice Manager whenever you need to split an order in a specific way. It doesn't have to just be through invoice change. So when I'm ready, just like before, I click on save and everything gets saved. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you learned something new. I hope you enjoyed the video. From everyone here at Dark, thank you so much for your time and attention, and thank you for your business. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.